Ah! All right. One more time for your hosts and Steven. Make it loud for both of them. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for clapping. Thank you so much for coming out. I love Chicago, and this is close enough. So I'll take it. You know, I'll take it. We're really close to a place I love, and this isn't it, but I can see it. You know, that's a short 45-minute Uber ride, and there's fun and excitement, so much to do. But we're here, but this is good too. This is where the airport is, and a mall and a freeway. All right. This is great. Yeah. This is where it's going down, I assume. Does anyone live here in Rosemont? Clap it up. Nice. All right. That's good to know. All right. You don't wait.
I don't have to pay for a city sticker on my car.
You don't have to pay for a city sticker on your car,
Nope.
And that is the only reason to live here, I think. All right. We all learned something. Thank you so much. I learned so much today. I didn't know what a city sticker was. I do know now, but I know you can bypass that by not living near the city. And you can commute in. That's an important sticker. That's what that is. So good to be here. Yeah. I'm still processing that. That was just the pride you had in that answer. It was a real joke's on you, because all these rubes and suckers out here, they're paying for a city sticker. Not me. Rosemont, baby. All right? No stickers needed. You never know. You never know. Yeah, we went down to the city today. That's what we did. We had a deep dish for lunch, and I feel like I had one, so not great. Ever. I have never. A deep dish is one of those foods where every time I visit, I'm like, yeah, and then every time afterwards, I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot about this feeling. I don't even know how to describe it. It feels like my parents argued in my intestines and then left the room, and we're just there to remember the argument. That's what it feels like, where we're just kind of like my intestines are just looking at each other like, I don't. Here we are again, aren't we? That's what it feels. It's not a good one, but it was delicious at the time. You know? And I don't think I have to eat anything again till tomorrow. So that's a good part. Yeah, we went down there, took an Uber down, went to the Bean, and it's not open, by the way. I don't know. That was not. Google didn't say that. I didn't know you could close a Bean. But they did it. They had that thing covered up like the White House after January 6th. They had it they're like, man, who did something to this Bean, you know? And so there's still a bunch of loser tourists like me outside the fence, trying to get a snapshot of the Bean. I can almost see myself, I think. They closed the Bean. Yeah. No, we then had deep dish and then went on the architecture boat tour. All of us, my brother's in town, my buddy Jason's in town, Steven and I were on the boat. And 90 minutes, about 30 minutes too long. I don't know if you've done it. You guys might not have done it because you live here. But if you have, it's 90 minutes and it should be 60. It should be. You think you're excited. You can see the excitement die. If you're on the top deck those first 15 minutes, oh my God, what? Who built that? Oh, Ulysses S. Who? Oh! And then slowly, oh. All right. What's that, a post office? All right, yeah. Yep. Still on the boat. She's still talking. And we were also not in a good seat. Like, we were in a good seat to see everything, but we were behind the speakers. So it was the last row of the top, so the speakers were just here, just in the view of every one of my photos was the speaker. But all the information was going that way, so we'd only catch it sometimes. Like if we bounced off like a building, it would come back. So I got trickling information. I heard that you guys redirected the flow of the river to screw over St. Louis. That's what I got over. St. Louis, the reason it sucks is because of you guys. And you guys twisted the river and you're like, you take it, you know? And St. Louis is like, oh no! And I got that. I got the Sears Tower is the biggest, and the needles don't count in the overall, which always felt like cheating anyway. Like anytime you see a big building and then a needle on top, like this counts, you know? It's like a short guy when you go, no, you're not 5'9", and they're like, what? Are you 100% certain? I'll spread my chest and buck up a little, you know? But yeah, it just wasn't, you know? But it was beautiful. You have the most beautiful city I think I've been to. Like the most major, I mean that. I'm not doing that to butter your biscuits. It's nice. It's nice and it's nicer. Like there's not that much honking, you know, compared to, I live in New York now where that's just how, I think that's how cars start out there. They just start, like, bah! That's all right. Everything's working. And out here, you hear it, and you're like, "Oh, something's about to happen." That feels like a death wish, you know. But I'm very much enjoying it. It's been good. It's been good. I'm wearing my glasses out here. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm wearing my glasses. I don't normally wear my glasses. I feel very self-conscious performing in my glasses. Because I don't have good frames. You know, like they always try to upsell you on the anti-glare and stuff. These are just what I wear after I get out of the bathroom at night and we're about to watch Netflix. I put these on for 10 minutes. So I didn't put good money into these. They're like, oh, for an extra $1,000, do you want anti-glare UV protect? And I'm like, no. Do you want to look at the sun whenever you want? Do you want that for an extra $45,000? And you're... No, I think I'm all right. And now standing on the stage in front of these bright lights, I should have taken the deal, all right? Because it's like the commercial where he's driving at night and all the headlights and you're like, I can't see, is that an alien in front of me? What are we doing? So I'm wearing my glasses, and I was scared to wear my glasses. And I told my wife, and I'm like, I don't want to wear my glasses. And she's like, why not? I'm like, well, what if I get in a fight? That's a legitimate thing, I said to my wife. I go, what if I get in a tussle in old Chi-Town? You know? There's going to have to be a moment where I take them off and fold them. And put them away and go, all right, you know? And she just looked at me dumbfounded. And she goes, that's a real thought? Yeah. I was like, yeah. She's like, when was the last time you got in a fight? I'm like, I don't even remember. She's like, why is that a fear? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the worst case scenario. You know, because that's always my fear. Because Chicago, I don't know if if you watch the news, but I don't know if you're paying attention, but according to the news, everyone's dead out here. All right? There's not a living soul in the city. Everyone's dead or about to die, and the clock is a ticking. That's how the news makes it sound. But then every time I come, I'm like, it's fine. Everyone's alive and healthy. No one's patching a wound. Everyone's doing all right. But it's scary. That's what you hear. You know, that's what you hear, and then you come and you're like, oh, all right. Oh, this is all right. Like, I remember the first time I came to Chicago, it was more in the wintertime, and I got lost on the subway. And it was after a whole weekend of not getting lost on the subway, and that's what got me lost on the subway, is the last night I got arrogant, you know? I got arrogant, and I'm like, I get this city. I get it. I know where the red line goes. And I missed my stop on the old red line. I was staying at a hotel in the Loop down there, and somewhere in that carousel of fun, I was supposed to get off, and I forgot about it because I was going. I love Chicago. I was a little drunk, you know. And it just kept going, and I'm having fun, and slowly I notice. I'm like, oh, okay. You know when you slowly see things, like they're changing, but they're not abrupt. You just see them in your peripheral. All right. Sure, you know? And then I started noticing the stops were like lesser known presidents, and I'm like... Garfield? Okay, you know? But it finally clicked where I was when I hit White Sox Stadium. That's when I pieced it together. Because I'm not even a huge sports fan, but I know enough that White Sox Stadium is in the south side of Chicago. And according to the news, that's in the thick of it. So when I saw White Sox Stadium, I immediately sobered up, and I switched from joy to fear very quick, so quick, like an Oscar-winning actor. I just went from oh. And I got off immediately at the next stop, and the next stop wasn't even an underground stop; it was an above ground in the middle of a freeway. So there's nowhere to run. There's just 8 lanes that way, 8 lanes that way. And I'm just in the middle platform with a light going, look who's here! Look who missed a stop. Get a look at this guy. And so I'm just, I remember it was in the winter, and I'm standing there wearing mittens. And not gloves, mittens. So, And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I should take my mittens off. Because I don't think anyone in the history of fighting has ever won a fight with mittens on. So I took them off quickly, clipped them to my sleeves, and prepared myself for action. But, you know, but nothing happened. Everything was fine. Got back on the train and went back. But thank you. Yeah, that was my saga. Kind of a letdown at the end. You're like, he wasn't assaulted, you know? Sorry, everything worked out. 'Cause sometimes things are better than advertised. But yeah, the reason I'm wearing the glasses is because last week I got a sty. I don't even know if you guys know what that is. Yeah. The heat. See, you already know. All right. I didn't know what it was. I woke up last Saturday morning and it felt like someone punched me in the eye. That's what it felt like. But no one punched me in the eye that I was aware of. And then I went home and I got home and it started to swell a little bit. And I'm like, what is this? And I'm a comedian, so I don't have health insurance. So I had to, when you don't have health insurance, CVS, the pharmacy, has a telehealth option where for $100 you get to FaceTime with like a cashier or something. I think that's who you talk. I think you're talking to a cashier on a lunch break, and they're like, "Yeah, I've seen a lot of people. Let me take a look." And so I'm just FaceTiming with this lady, and he's showing. That's where technology is right now. I'm just sticking my gross eye. I'm like, "You see it?" I was so happy this was the issue I was having, you know, and not somewhere else on my body. Otherwise I might have had to whip out the ring light and a directional fan, you know. Then my wife comes in, just hears a voice off the phone going, "Wider! I can't." That was the line. I know, every time. I'll learn. But yeah, the first guy, it was a guy that I talked to, the first guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I think that's a sty, but let me check my reference." And he would just turn and start typing, and like every sentence he's like, "Does it hurt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it feels like someone punched me in the face." He's like, "All right, did someone punch you in the face?" And I'm like, not that I'm aware of. He goes, "Not that he's aware of." And it got to the point where I'm like, "Are you just Googling? Like, are you doing what I was doing 15 minutes ago?" And he's like, no, this is a different program. And he's like, I think it said the same thing your lady friend there said, which was you need to do heat compress, which I've never heard that. Usually with a swollen eye, you want to put ice on it. But that's if you get punched. Not with this. You want to do the opposite. You want to heat it up a tad. And so I put heat on it, and the next morning I woke up worse. Naturally. I got advice from a CVS cashier. So my eye was worse, and then I was like, nah, this was a professional. Let's give it another day. More heat. The next day I wake up bigger. And I was like, let's try again. So I spent another $100, talked to a different cashier, and before I even said hello, she's like, oh my God, you need antibiotics for that. That's how swollen my eye was, that I was just, and that's not good. And that's all she said. And I was trying to explain, and you're like, I get it. You need antibiotics. And so for a week, I've just been putting antibiotics, and my eye was all puffy and gross. And my wife said I look like Quasimodo from The Hunchback of Notre Dame, or Notre Dame, whichever one, the French one. You know, not a linebacker from Indiana, like the French. And it's funny because like I had a swollen eye, and I already naturally kind of slouch, so I was already like the Hunchback. But now when I'm out in public, I don't want to make eye contact with people because I don't want to gross them out with this, so I'm hunching extra. And I turned into Quasimodo. I'd be like, one cold brew, please. And then I'd throw on a cloak and run up a stairwell. And it's like a full-on... It was ridiculous, but yeah. But it's better now. It's better. It's still there, but it's better. You know, thank you. Yeah, I didn't pay for any of the extras. I don't have anti-glare. Also, my lenses are thick, so they were like, I remember the optometrist was like, for an extra $2,000, I can make them thinner so that your eyes don't look comedic. And I was like, no, this is what I wear at night. No one in public will ever see me in these. And then here I am. My wife said in these glasses I look like Nigel Thornberry from the show The Thorn Vets for Four People. It's a cartoon. But I'm all right. I don't know. It's been good to be here. I flew in yesterday, came in. That was fun. I sat next to you ever sit next to a guy that just puts the jacket over his face and just lays there? Have you seen that? You know, they just put the hood over their own face and then just sleep like that. Have you ever seen that? It's happened to me multiple times, and usually it's with people that are sitting with the person they know. But now it's next to me. I don't know, but now I'm responsible for this guy. You know what I mean? When they come by for drinks, they're looking at me and then they look at him, and I'm like, I don't. He's on a timeout. I think he's gonna pass on the juice. I don't know. So I just focus on me. That's what I do. That's what I try to be selfish. I just, as you should. That is our society right now. I like that, though. I fully agree with you. That's why my wife and I don't have kids, because every time we think about it, we're like, well, what would it change our lives now? And then we're like, yeah. And then so we're like, let's not. You know? My wife and I are genuinely selfish. Like, we're like, yeah, but what about us? You know? Like, that's what we think about. And that's why kids just keep getting further away. Because we have, her brother has 2 kids, and we saw. And we're like, that sucks. You know? Like, don't get me wrong, there were sweet moments within the suck. But if you did a pros cons list, it wouldn't even be close. It wouldn't even be close. For every time you had this moment, there was like so many things broken and crying. Like I started wrestling with these 2 boys, which was so fun. I felt like I was being like accepted into the group. We were just sitting there, and they're like 5 and 3 or something. I don't know. They're young, and they just grabbed me. They didn't say hello. They just grabbed my arm and they took me to a room. And when the smallest one shut the door, and they both grabbed pillows and they just started wailing on me. And then I was like, oh, they're like accepting me into their wolf pack. You know, like I wanted to go, you know, like, do I get to be the alpha here? I think I get to be the alpha here. And then so I started playing along, you know, I'm hitting him with a pillow, and the oldest one kept doing this move where he just cover his head, and just bull rush me. And he doesn't know that I can pivot, so he was coming at me, and I fished him like that, and full blast into a closet door. He knocked the closet door off the hinges, and I was like, oh man. And then he gets up and he's like, ah! And I'm like, shut up! I don't know, like, because I don't have kids. Was I at fault there? I'm like, I don't want your dad to get mad. Shut up! I'll give you candy. Just shut up. Don't. Everything's fine. Shut up. I don't know. It's like to have that all the time is hard. So we don't know. My wife and I are going back on what to do. We're like, should we freeze eggs? That's an option. You can freeze it. Yeah, it's an option. I thought it was easier. Like, then she told me how intense it is. She has to, like, inject herself with hormones, and then it's surgery to take out the eggs. That's not what I don't know what I thought it was. I thought they just, like, put, like, a hose up there and just, you know, like, have you ever had boba tea where you suck out the... That's what I thought. You know, you go in there 30 minutes and put that in a cooler and you figure it out later. I had no idea. She broke down what she has to go through. And I'm like, that's not fair. And she's like, you're telling me. And I'm like, oh. And it's so crazy. And it's just because we're selfish, which I definitely am. I definitely am at that level, but we're trying our best. I don't know. I'm just trying to focus on me. That's what we're doing. We are living... Hey there. Thank you so much for watching my video. Is this too close? We're keeping it. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to be on tour all year, 2024. Might be the last one. So, you know, go to zoltancomedy.com, look at the tour schedule. If you don't see your town, sign up for my mailing list. I promise I'm going to try to come, and I'll see you out there on the road. Thank you.